Genghis here. Today, adopting a rescue dog and getting it right. And we're gonna learn all about it from Cleopatra, Hannah, and their human, Barbara Sharp.
You know, I volunteer for SPCA, and I do mostly mummies and kitties for them, and Bonnie's always looking for homes to foster dogs and puppies, and so I said sure. So we just kind of morph into helping out, and then you're in wholeheartedly. So, and Bonnie Graham is the person, one of two people who originated Cross Our Paws here in North Vancouver, and so she's 100% volunteer her time too, running the organization. We work with local shelters, whether it's, local shelters like ourselves or who aren't really shelters. Other rescue groups might ask us to help out if they get too many dogs. Or we have helped with SPCA, and we get a lot of puppies and dogs from the northern area of BC. So, we kind of take in dogs from a variety of places more locally. And so when people think of a shelter, I think they often think of the SPCA, which has physical buildings that they house dogs that come in, and they're either brought in from owner surrenders, they're brought in because they were found on the street and nobody knows who they are. There's a holding place. There's sort of cages and areas where the dogs can be housed for weeks at a time. And so people think of shelter, that's what they think of. When they think of rescue, I think lots of times people think of shelter as well. In fact, rescues like ours are rather kind of small based and very cohesive, but it's all voluntary and it's people's homes. So when I take in a rescue dog for Cross Our Paws or puppies, it's at my house. So I'm set up, I have extra crates and I have, extra dog cleanup material, and I have a big backyard with a full fence. Cleo just saw something. Big 6-foot fence around, all sealed in, and under the gate sealed in so that even a puppy can't get out. So it's all secure and lots of place to play. So they stay in my house and I feed them, look after them, do whatever training I can, house touring them, depending on how old they are, and even might work with some issues if, depending what kind of issues the dog might have. So we do it just at our house. So sometimes people get frustrated because they think, oh, you've got a shelter. And in fact, Bonnie has to find one of us that's got, availability to actually take in another pet. And sometimes she can't. We have limits because we're in our own homes, right? And it's not like a big shelter. We can take in a bunch of dogs. I work with the dog or the puppy or puppies that I have at the time until they get adopted. And so they come to my house for, it could be a couple of weeks, and I've even had one dog, was a mummy dog, for 6 months. So it really is dependent on the situation because we look for the right home for the dog and the right fit with the right family. So we can get a dog that doesn't really like kids for whatever reason. We don't know the history all the time on the animal, so they might not like children and they might react negatively. So we will post on our website, we don't want to have a home with kids for this dog because. But we still get applications for it, and then people might get upset because we say no. But with a dog that has issues with children, then you don't want to put that dog in a home and create a liability that's not necessary. So yeah, we take the time to really make sure the fit. So because of that, we rarely see a dog return, which we absolutely insist based on our contract. When you sign a contract with a dog from Cross Our Paws, part of the contract actually says right in there, we will take the dog if you're needing to surrender it for whatever reason, at whatever point in its lifetime. That's another thing rescues will do. Yeah, take full responsibility. So if you see a rescue that isn't doing that, I'd kind of be a bit leery. Because, there are people that actually will undertake fostering, very lightly in that they might not even do a home check. So you don't really know where that dog's going then. And you don't know what kind of dog you got, you don't know what kind of family you're fitting it with. So when they come in big, large groups like we've seen come in the airport, where the dogs all come in, there might be 100 dogs, and it's a very emotional, I'm going to save a dog, and really, people really need to take a step back and look at that process because there's a lot of questions about whether or not that dog and that family will be the good fit that, is being projected that they are. It's not necessarily the case. There are definitely some organizations that we think are in it for the money, because what we've seen is they have these big shows of come adopt these dogs, bring them in from the States, and who knows where they came from or what they're bringing into the country. They might tell you that they've actually screened these dogs. It's impossible to do the kind of screening that we do. When we're looking at the intense, I have a dog for 6 months before it gets adopted, for example. You bring a dog up here and you're bringing it into a family, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know really what the medical issues are. You don't know what the nature of the dog is. You don't know whether it's going to do well with the family. And so it can be dangerous. And we've heard and seen some of these dogs sort of reposted on, oh, heaven forbid, Craigslist, right, which we totally highly suggest people don't do. But we've seen that, and that's because these organizations don't take the dogs back. They're only in it for the cash up front. Really, they haven't had to spend any money. Usually when they come up from the States, the dogs already have all their shots and everything else. So they've got that clearance to get into the country in the first place. But that means that organization bringing them in hasn't even spent anything, but is still charging the people that are adopting those dogs $500-600. And for us, we don't make any money. We raise money in fundraising and that to be able to pay for dogs that have medical issues and things. And we only charge the fee for adopting a dog for the spay or neuter and any of the necessary vaccines for particularly puppies, right? So people only pay like maybe $400, and that's all gone to costs we've actually put out. So there are a lot of people bring 100 in, just do the math, right? 500 times 100. Imagine getting even emotionally attached to the whole idea of saving a dog, and then all of a sudden you have a dog that's a real problem, or either has that in kind of the way that the dog responds to them. In other words, maybe has aggressive issues or something, or has a medical issue. Right? Like we will look after that medical issue. Like when we get a dog in that has a medical issue, we'll make sure that is looked after before the dog actually is ever adopted out. That won't happen in the other place. And then you'll see them, like I said, and you won't ever hear the ones that didn't get adopted. So they bring 100 in and there's 75 people that show up and adopt a dog and wait around and pick their dog. Oh, I like that one. It's not like shopping in a window for a dress or, piece of jewelry. It's a living, breathing creature that really needs your care for its lifetime. And so people need to understand that huge responsibility goes with adopting a cat or a dog or any other animal.
The Genghis Show!
And remember, we want you to be part of the show too. Send us your animal clips, subscribe to our newsletter, and watch us on various social media sites. And contact us with your ideas and suggestions. All the details and more videos can be seen with us on our website at thegengisshow.com. Thanks for watching, and now, here are your pet moments. Enjoy.